What a wild card weekend as the Jaguars make a historic comeback and two heavy favorites struggle at home. The Giants set up a divisional matchup with the Eagles and a recap of the Dallas Cowboys and Tampa Bay Buccaneers Monday night game. Coming up next on PC Sports. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Los Angeles Chargers game was a tale of two halves. After the Jaguars beat the Chargers at home 38-10, I picked on my last show, I believed the Chargers would win. That prediction looked pretty good to start, as Trevor Lawrence had 4 first-half interceptions. The Chargers jumped out to a 27-0 lead, and the Jaguars just had no answers. Lawrence then came alive after a late touchdown drive to end the first half, going to halftime 27-7. But on Lawrence's final 5 drives, he had 4 touchdowns, finished 4 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. He was 23-29 for 253 yards. He helped the Jaguars outscore the Chargers 31-3 after going down 27-0. This actually marked the third largest comeback in NFL playoff history. Now, the big story that came away from this game is who to blame for the Chargers. Justin Herbert definitely has some blame. You know, you got to put up points, especially if you're a great quarterback like he is supposed to be. You need to put up some type of points. Just a touchdown basically ends this game. But also, Brandon Staley, he's a defensive coach, and his defense played very well. 5 turnovers. When's the last time a team had 5 turnovers and ended up getting 5 turnovers and losing that game? It's just unheard of. I think most of the blame should fall on Justin Herbert, though I do believe Brandon Staley should be out as Los Angeles Chargers coach, especially when there's a guy like Sean Payton looming. If you guys want to see the full game highlights of that Chargers versus Jaguars game, head over to my channel. I have the full game highlights posted on there. And just when you thought this weekend couldn't get any weirder with a 27-point comeback, the next game, we saw the Bills, who were minus 14 points, host a divisional opponent in the Miami Dolphins. Their 14-point favorite was the most a team has been favored in playoff history. And it looked like it was how it should be. Bills jumped straight out to a 17-0 lead. Then, all of a sudden, Miami scored the next 17 points, and we were tied. Buffalo kicked the field goal before half. It was 20-17. Third quarter, after a Bills stop, they get the ball back. First offensive play for the Bills in the second half. Josh Allen sacked, he fumbles, and the Dolphins jump out to a 24-20 lead. Then all of a sudden, the Bills scored back-to-back touchdowns, and they jump out to a 10-point lead later in the second half. You think this is all she wrote? It might end up like that 49ers-Seahawks game. But before you know it, the Dolphins go down the field and score a touchdown. 3-point game now. They have the ball on the 50-yard line with a chance to tie or take the lead with under 2 minutes to go, and something went wrong with the play calling, the delay. It looked like all day these calls were getting in late. Something happened, false start, 4th and 1 turns to 4th and 6. Bills get a stop, and there you have it. They just squeak out with a victory. All of Buffalo was holding their breath during that game, but the Bills hold on as 14-point favorites, win 34-31, and honestly, this was one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Set a record for playoff viewership, which peaked at 40 million viewers. So there you have it. The Bills move on to the next round. We'll move on now to the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Another great game, another rematch of a great game that happened during the regular season, and the Giants get their revenge and win 31-24. Not going to spend a lot of time in the game here. Instead, going to talk Daniel Jones. Had 15 touchdowns this year and 5 interceptions passing. Those stats don't really jump out at you, but in his playoff debut, he looked great. 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and led the Giants to their first playoff victory in 11 years. He has this locker room behind him. He's shown growth, and I want the camera to see me when I say this. I apologize to Daniel Jones and all Giants fans. I've been very skeptical of Daniel Jones, and I had no faith in him, and I was wrong, and I'm saying I'm wrong. He looks like he is a franchise quarterback. Another game that was supposed to be a blowout, but ended up being a really good game and could have been won by either team, was the Ravens and the Bengals. The Ravens did their thing and what they were expected to do, running the football. This is what kept them in the game. Huntley did not play bad, but even when he broke out of that pocket to get them down to the goal line, it was his legs that did the work. But the play of the game in this game was easily that fumble on the goal line. Tyler Huntley tried to leap the pile, was punched out. The Ohio kid, Sam Hubbard, picked it up and returned it all the way back for a touchdown, 99 yards, longest fumble recovery in postseason history. A lot of questions surrounding this game was, if Jackson played, would the Ravens have won this game? It's tough to say. I believe the Bengals low-key overlooked them because Jackson wasn't playing. The Bengals did not play up to their standards, and I believe they could and would have played better. Bills and Bengals game is going to be so exciting. I will be previewing every single divisional game coming up this Friday, so stay on a lookout for that. The final game of Wild Card Weekend, the Monday Night Showdown between Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys, and Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The story surrounding this game was obviously Dak Prescott versus Tom Brady, and Dak Prescott won that battle. He impressed, 25 of 32, 305 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He threw 2 of those touchdowns to his tight end Dalton Schultz, who added 95 yards receiving. Now I'm recording this video as this game is still going on. 31-6 right now, Dallas. Not a lot of fun for this game. One of the most exciting parts of this game was Dallas kicker Brett Maher going 0 for 4 on field goals in Dallas's first 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, for the fans that were watching and having a fun time on social media, he ended up hitting his 5th field goal, 1 of 5. Still not that great. So the Cowboys will be moving on. The divisional round is all set now. I will have a preview video coming out on Friday, previewing every single divisional round and picking every single game. Stay tuned for that, and hopefully we get a great weekend of games just like we did this weekend. That's all the time we have for PC Sports. I'm Pat Sveniglia.